So it's a game. In the third quarter, Cowboys are down 10. Now here's Brandon Aubrey. This guy is a weapon.
Unbelievable.
This is a 64-yard field goal, but wait, they're going to call head slapping on Derek Barnett. So the Cowboys, they'll take the points off the board. And Jeff, it winds up costing them the points.
This is a brutal turn of events. You get all the way down. I'm not sure what's going on right there, but it just is a painful. Look at this. D'Amico's celebrating. Cowboys are deflated. Oh, CD, I feel you.
And it's still a game in the fourth quarter. And then here's the Cowboys nominee for worst play ever. You're going to get the ball knocked out of Cooper Rush, and then we got it back, and then we got it. Oh no! And then
ball carrier.
Oh no!
That guy.
It's the double fumble scoop 6.
Y'all old linemen, y'all just got to take a knee. It never works out. Like it never works out. It's not. I mean no disrespect.
You know what he did? He flashed back, bro. He flashed back. Back in the day, in Pee Wee, he was a beast. He had the stripe on the helmet.
Yeah.
He had to play differently when he got it.
On that play, Jeff, he received.
He did.
Fourth quarter, there's Joe Mixon's third touchdown of the night. Texans wind up winning it 34-10. The Cowboys are just awful. Jerry's face says it all. Here's Mike McCarthy.
How do you explain? Can you explain any of this, or
explain it?
Yeah, any kind of.
I think the reality it's very frustrating. It's frustrating for everybody. Frustrating for the players. Frustrating for the coaches. I know it's disappointing for the fans.
We just aren't playing very well. Happens we're doing that at home for sure. We've had a big run of home games that we haven't done it. So we just aren't playing well, and it's several things out there. It's not really the amount of the score at home. It's not really. It's just the way we're playing.
Well, it's at least a little bit the score. There are a lot of problems. Jeff, you were describing to us as, look, I mean, all you guys who played, you've all probably been on a bad team somewhere along the line when things. Meek actually never was.
Yeah, I never was on it.
But Jeff, when you were, what is the vibe with the Cowboys right now?
Yeah, we got coaches shipping the Pelotons back to the house that their wife needs it. We got books being boxed and set aside. A lot of closed doors in the building. Like we got a lot of things happening that are deflating. It's a brutal time, and you see it on the field. You see it in the players' faces, but the coaches, man, I don't envy where they're sitting.
Yeah, those closed doors or something. I've seen that. I've seen that a few different times. Man.
You
You walk by someone's office and they're just like, yeah, I need a minute.
Right.
I need a minute. Yeah, it's the worst of times in all seriousness, because I mean now people's lives are getting uprooted. Kids are asking dads about, hey, what does this mean for us?
Yeah.
Johnny's talking to me at home, talking about the coaching staff's going to get fired. I mean at school. I mean that's the kind of thing that right now. We sit here and we make a profession out of scrutinizing this kind of thing and projecting where people are going to be and where they're not going to be. For families now, I mean, this is the tough time. It's a tough time because change is coming.
I would tell Johnny to go hit on the girl that you've been wanting to hit on, punch the bully that's been getting on your nerves, tell the teacher that you don't like,
won't be around.
tell her what she need to know, because you're going to be packed up right along with that Peloton real soon. You're going to be at a new school. So if she say no, don't worry about it. You may never see her again.
Lewis here trying to get you to feel something like, hey, these real lives being affected.
But you know what? Hey, what Dom is doing, he's saying, look, there's positives there.
Yeah,
I mean, you can make it. You can make it positive no matter what.
Hey, Johnny, we can't stop the run, but that's all right. You might get a date.
Let the record show we do not, as a show, endorse the punching of anyone, including bullies. Go ahead, Dan. What were you going to say?
Well, I don't think it's the Cowboys' year. I don't. I think they're a little.
What was your first hint?
Yeah. I just wanted to get the conversation back to sort of the games at hand. Look, they are. The stadium is literally crumbling before the game. Like pieces of it are falling off, and like one of the all-time metaphors, right, for what's going on with the Cowboys. Joe Mixon comes in and goes. See, this is not what you want.
No.
Like when Jerry said, why don't we just tear the whole thing down and start over? Like you weren't supposed to take that seriously. My point is this: they are a lot worse than they thought they were. They are a lot worse, I think, than we thought they were. And this is a major rebuilding project that's going to be, I do believe, some other coach's job.
Yeah, that's why when there was discussion about should there be a move or is there a series of moves that they can make at the trade deadline, there was never anything that was going to fix this team. This is an off-season job.
Yeah.
It's an off-season job of the highest order. And quite honestly, Look, I think you have to now peel back everything as far as your player acquisition and development program and just go, look, yeah, we've won some regular season games here in the past, but we are way far away. And I know that's going to dovetail into something that you suggest that they should do as far as trading certain players.
Right.
Which I was against at one point in time, especially considering, look, they have some good players at premium positions, but looking at the way they looked last night, it might be moving over your side.
They told you at the trade deadline what they think, because the only pickup they made was a future-focused one, right? A receiver's got 2 years left on his deal.
That's a great point. That's a great point, yeah.
Yeah, they're thinking about the future.
Yeah, I mean, and so as we start figuring out what the short-term future is going to look like, Dez Bryant, longtime Cowboy, obviously, played for them for 8 seasons. He went on Twitter last night and he tweeted this: "I am the Cowboys to the heart. If I'm the Cowboys, I'd fire everyone after this season. There's young, hungry talent in the upcoming draft. Also, I'd consider Deion Sanders as the next head coach. My only advice to Dez is don't bury the lead, my man." Start with your most important stuff. That's the name that's out there. Jeff, I'm hearing it everywhere. I host a show 6 days a week on this network. I cannot turn in any direction without someone mentioning Deion Sanders to the Cowboys.
And I love the fit. The problem is you can't fire Jerry, and that's the problem. And so when you're talking about Deion, I love what Deion could do in Dallas. He has the cachet to walk in a locker room and get everybody in that room to focus and listen to him. But the problem is if Jerry is still in control of the offseason, which you just mentioned, he was in control of it last year. What gives you the confidence he's going to make it better? And so when Deion walks in, how much authority is he going to have? How much ability is Jerry going to give him to run the team the way he wants to run it? All of those things. It's not about the Deion, it's about the fit between Jerry and Deion that causes concern.
Well, you played with Deion. You have a long-standing relationship with him. What would you think of that marriage if it might come together, Jerry and Deion?
Look, I think the NFL overall is exactly – the NFL needs someone like Deion Sanders, quite honestly. He fits the NFL. It's a matter of whether or not the NFL fits him. That's the issue, whether it's Dallas or anywhere else. Because let me just tell you this. Anybody who knows that man – he takes a back seat to nobody.
Right.
Nobody. Not an owner, not players, not other coaches, nobody. And for him to come to the NFL right now and have to deal with mega millionaires who don't want to practice, who don't want to play hard, who don't want to sacrifice, who don't want to listen, that would send him through the roof. See, he can control that to a large degree at Colorado and in the college game. I don't know if the pro game necessarily is what he wants, but I can tell you this, if I was an owner and I spent some time talking to him like I've talked to him and understand what makes him tick, I would be trying desperately to get him into my building. There's no question about that. It's just a matter of whether or not he wants it.
Does the people you talk to around the league, do they feel like Deion to the NFL is a thing? That next year he'll be coaching?
I don't have a handle on that. Look, it's one of those, it only takes one team, right? But I think the key point that Lewis is making is whatever team does hire him, if someone does, like he becomes the face of their franchise. In Dallas, that position is not open, and it's not going to be. That's right. Like that is Jerry Jones.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So, like that to me is why I don't see that as the fit. It doesn't seem to me to make sense, given his history, for Jerry Jones to hire a coach that would attract that much attention.
College coaches haven't had a bunch of success moving from college to the NFL. Maybe Deion Sanders will be different. I'm not sure. None of us really know consistently what it takes to hire a good head coach. So I'm not going to say that Deion can't do it. But I will push back on something that Lewis was saying, is that like this caricature of the current player. Like that may be the player at certain places, but I think most places the guys do want to work hard and they do want to fight. And Deion, I think one of the mischaracterizations about Deion is that he's a flashy type of guy, which he is on the outside, but football for him is fundamental.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I am not. Let me make this perfectly clear. He's as old school as it gets.
Yeah, that's the point.
Okay.
Right.
The flash, the primetime part of him, look, we know why. He has talked extensively about why he created that. He is an old school guy. That's what I'm saying. Look, and I'm not saying every player is a prima donna who doesn't want to work. I'm just saying, like, it comes with a different set of rules, so to speak, in the NFL than it does in college. And I just don't know if he wants to deal with it. Maybe he does.
But let's talk about this, because part of this is the Dallas phenomenon.
Yeah.
You have a situation where players on the team have went after the quarterback, and the owner has allowed it and not come to his defense.
Right.
Yeah.
Owner and general manager. There's a lot of drama that is carried throughout Dallas. That, again, that to me is where I agree with you.
Yeah.
Does Deion want to deal with that? Like, I'm being real. Deion likes to shape men and wants people to be different. But so I like it. But I'm just saying, from his perspective, do you want to go deal with Jerry circumventing your authority?
So nobody is simple enough for us to just make one kind of definition of who they are. But I find it interesting that we're talking about Deion doesn't want this sideshow, while Deion is also producing like reality shows on the side.
I don't mean it that way. I mean his authority being usurped by the owner, not the drama. He can deal with drama. It's that part where he undercuts and allows his best players to argue amongst themselves in public.
Good owners and good general managers and good coaches will not allow that to happen. The fact that it happens in Dallas is going to keep holding them back from their ultimate goal unless there is someone who is big enough and strong enough to change that. And maybe the argument is that Deion can do that, but I don't know that anybody.
I just don't know. If he had multiple options, why would you pick that one other than the fact that it's Dallas?
No, because it's not even about being in Dallas. It's you have a real quarterback, a real number one weapon, and a real pass rusher.
But we're going to talk later about whether or not they still have that real pass rusher. But the point of the matter is this, though. Look, I think the point of the matter is this. Look, Deion is about order. Okay, and it's about structure. And some people may think it's not about that with him, but it is. And I just don't know if he would be able to get that in Dallas. That's my point.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We'll come back to him a little bit more. We need to set aside some more time for this, because there's also the whole question of whether or not he wants to go someplace with his son. And if that's going to happen, Dallas is not going to be that place, realistically speaking. There are a few options that seem like they would be available. There's a lot to get to there.